On December 10th, the Iraqi Governing Council established a special tribunal to try top members of former Iraqi President Saddam Hussein's government for genocide and crimes against humanity. The decision was made a few days before Saddam was captured by the U.S. troops near his hometown of Tikrit. What is the basic reason for establishing the Iraqi Special Tribunal?
The Special Tribunal for Criminal was agreed in the Governing Council and authorized by the Coalition Provisional Authority. This is formed in the shape of law. On the other hand, the Governing Council is not regarded as a legislative body in the normal term. The council member is appointed by United States-led CPA, Coalition Provisional Authority, and the CPA is given authority by Security Council Resolution 1483 as occupying forces to govern Iraq. So ultimately, the special court is attributed to the Security Council Resolution 1483. As for the laws to judge the accused, the Governing Council said to use the penal code under the old regime. So this authority to justify also comes from the Security Council resolution.
Many of the Iraqi Governing Council members say that Saddam Hussein could face the death penalty if convicted. It's pointed out, therefore, that the Iraqi Special Tribunal could turn into a retaliatory tribunal with the goal of putting Saddam to death. What is the aim of the Special Tribunal?
Originally, the tribunal is not to penalize or retaliate the Saddam, but for several hundred former regime members which were accused for crimes against humanity. An Iraqi opposition movement called Indict had corrected those crimes with neutrality, at least on the surface. So those facts will be the basis to judge and to avoid the accusation of retaliation. However, there is a strong concern for the neutrality of the court proceeding, since those judges of Iraqi who came from non-Ba'athist background are excluded under the former regime and lack the experience. On the other hand, there is also political consideration. The Saddam Hussein, he himself, was symbol of repression and non-respect of the laws. So if Iraqi people in this special tribunal could proceed the court proceedings properly with justice and law under the democratic framework, probably it will give the impression for all the Iraqis the old regime have gone and the new regime under the democracy and the law will be prevailed.
It's reported that the administration of U.S. President George W. Bush is in the position to let the citizens of Iraq judge the cases of top members of Saddam Hussein's government. What are the possible forms of trial for examining their cases? Can you name some possible forms in relation to precedents from the international community?
Yes. In addition to the special tribunal which we mentioned, some of the international tribunal had opened before. One of them is a Sierra Leone-styled one, which is the United Nations and the government of that related country have appointed the judges and proceeded the court. And another one is the Yugoslavian style. This is the United Nations Security Council had appointed the specialist to judge. And in addition to that, the International Court of Justice could have a law to judge.
Reports say that the Bush administration opposes the International Criminal Court, in which the legal process is based on the United Nations resolutions. Why is this?
We still don't know what will be the form of those tribunal against Saddam Hussein. And in addition to the United Nations claim against the capital punishment, not only Bush administration, but also the other U.S. administration have prepared for the Iraqi or American-initiated court. Since 1997, the American administration had assisted financially the indict movement of Iraqi oppositions. So probably they are preparing for Iraqis to judge Saddam Hussein. And in addition to that, the WMD is now significant to justify the war because just 1 year before, the justification of the war is not necessarily important for U.S. administration because it was supposed to be under the United Nations Security Council resolutions. However, at this moment, this WMD weapons of mass destruction is indeed important and necessary to be prevailed. However, the perception of the WMD between United Nations and the United States is very different. So if the international court, based on the Security Council resolutions agreement or the Security Council resolution, is introduced, the U.S. has to face a significant, difficult problem. Now, for example, United States barred the inspection team of the United Nations and sent their own inspection team, which is not under the Security Council resolution. So the United States may face some difficulty if they try to use the International Tribunal.
Next, Mr. Ono, would you give us some examples of Saddam Hussein's crimes, including genocide and crimes against humanity, for which he will be indicted?
More than 13 years, the indict movement of Iraqi oppositions have listed several crimes against Saddam Hussein. And he is accused, first of all, to order the Anfal operation. Anfal operation is to genocide the Kurdistan people. Saddam regime claimed that those Kurdistan people have assisted Iranian forces during the Iranian war. So more than 50,000 people is said to be killed. And the second one was the against Intifada. Intifada is the kind of opposition which has happened in 1991, just after the Gulf War. And the Saddam regime have tried to seize this Intifada movement and killed also 50,000 people. And also Saddam Hussein is accused in the indict against crimes during the occupation of Kuwait and also the war against Iran.
The Bush administration has been holding al-Qaeda and Taliban soldiers captured in the cleanup operations under its control for a long period of time, claiming that they are terrorists, not prisoners of war. What attitude is the Bush administration likely to take towards Saddam Hussein? Please share your views on Saddam's treatment and future fate.
Initially, the Rumsfeld mentioned that Saddam Hussein will be treated as POW. However, the ICRC have requested to meet Saddam Hussein under the Geneva Convention, and also some of the media have accused the U.S. treatment of Saddam Hussein and showing him on the screen. The U.S. administration's attitude has become ambiguous. And also, the President Bush have initially trying to judge the Saddam Hussein by Iraqis. However, after the WMD has become very significant, the President Bush said Iraqi involvement is indeed necessary. The involvement and by Iraqis are quite different. So now, at this moment, I don't think the United States have firmly decided what they will do against or toward Saddam Hussein. But anyway, his destiny will be, of course, decided by under certain but still unknown framework. Before that, before facing his destiny, probably Saddam Hussein is becoming one of the most important cast of the medieval war initiated by the United States. So we will see.
Who are the Iraqi people that will be, participating in that tribunal?
Well, now at this moment, they said the specialists of the law and also the humanitarian activists. So, and also some of the politicians may participate to this tribunal.
Mr. Ono, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.